Hello, you're live on the ArchieLuxury channel. Today, I'm starting a new segment, Seiko Saturday. Seiko Saturday, Clive?
It's Friday here in the United States.
Yeah, but Friday doesn't rhyme with Seiko, does it? You understand? And where I am, it is Saturday. And to be honest with you, Clive...
Saturday technically doesn't rhyme with Seiko anyway. That's alliteration, not rhyming.
Seiko is doing well for Google Ads analytics. You got to understand the analytics. You got to understand these analytics are amazing shit. But this is a great tale. This is a true story. G'day, Archie.
It's still alliteration though, and not rhyming. I just want to point that out. Alliteration. The sixth sheik's sheep is sick on. Never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, let's go. Now, this is from William. G'day, Archie. 25 US for a paid review. Would like a comparison of the Omega Speedmaster Reduced. That's the automatic Omega. Versus the Seiko Ananta chronograph SRQ017. Both being automatic chronographs and similarly priced. I know you just love the Omega, but anyone interested in horology would consider the Seiko for the reasons stated. Seiko has a long history of horological achievements. In 1969, Seiko's 6139 chronograph caliber was nothing short of revolutionary, incorporating a column wheel and a vertical clutch system. The 6139 is also the first automatic chronograph sent to outer space worn on the wrist of U.S. astronaut William Reed Pogue during the 1973 Skylab 4 mission. The combination of a column wheel and vertical clutch system pioneered by Seiko eventually saw widespread adaptation by many Swiss companies, including Rolex's 4130 Daytona movement introduced in 2000, some 31 years later, and JLC self-winding chronograph caliber 751 introduced in 2005. Inside the antennas, chronograph SRQ017, released to celebrate Seiko's 100th anniversary, beats Seiko's finest mechanical chronograph caliber 8R28. It, of course, has a column wheel and vertical clutch system for precise operation. Also incorporates Seiko's unique three-pointed hammer, which ensures the perfect synchronization of the hand's flyback. The pusher also has a two-stage detent to ensure accurate timing. Each dial is painted by hand by Ishu Tamura, a noted artist and expert in the Kaji Maki style of lacquer. But it is the colors that make this watch unique. This particular deep blue lacquer never before accomplished on a watch. But there are other artifacts linking this watch to Japanese traditions of perfections. And just before we start, I'm actually putting on my Seiko in my collection. I'm putting on my Seiko. This is my Seiko in the luxury watch world. It's a Rolex. That's the Seiko. Now I'm putting on my, this is my beautiful Explorer 2. Clyde, this is an absolutely amazing piece. What do you think? What did you think when you read this sheet here? You're not a big Seiko man, but tell me what you think reading this sheet. What did you think? Okay, well, first of all, I really have to start after looking at the comments with Seiko Horn! Had to be done. Yeah, well, it's a nice watch. I mean, I looked at it, and the thing, I've looked at the email, then I looked at, a blog to watch. Ariel Adams did a nice review on this specific watch. Yes. And he went into in depth. He also had some really great photographs of it. Really schmicko photographs. And what I liked about it is it looks like it's really, really legible. I think that one Ariel Adams was looking at, that's the 100th anniversary version, I think, wasn't it? Yes. Actually, I might just bring that up on the screen now because I was actually looking at the same article because I was doing something called research. Have you heard of something called research?
Yeah, actually, I have heard of research.
So I got to tell you, a blog to watch has got some really. They got a fantastic library of articles. He's a good friend. Ariel Adams is actually a friend of mine, and let's just go and have a look here.
Maybe he'll get around to interviewing you one of these days.
He did. He has a couple of times. He's a good friend. I got to tell you, it's a very, very interesting piece there. Clive, that was a very, very interesting article. This is the anniversary edition, which is, it's, yeah, you know, that's cool. That's cool. That's like the modern equivalent. Yes, 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 yes. Clive, keep talking. Keep talking. Yes, you keep talking.
Well, and like I said, and going by, I mean, I do like the legibility of it. That is, I mean, standout. That looks like a chronograph even my washed out old, almost 50-year-old eyes could register clearly and distinctively. That is, I mean, that's something that's almost overlooked these days, it seems like, with modern watch design. Ariel Adams also, though, his thing is, you know, he paid homage. I mean, he gave them credit for the craftsmanship, but he also more or less said, compared with earlier iterations of the watch, it was a little bit more mainstream and not quite as far out and funky as previous iterations were. You know, previous iterations were based more on the katana, the Japanese sword of the samurai.
Mm-hmm.
And this one was a little white bread compared to them.
Now, I've just pulled one up. Not that you'd want to deal with someone from Turkey, but this is about $2,700.
I also, well, that looks like a different watch.
Sorry,
it looks like a different watch.
You also what? Sorry, Clive, say that again.
It looks like a different watch. I also pulled that up. I looked at the same watch, but it almost doesn't look the same. That's almost like the Pelagos version of the same watch.
It is. Yeah. I know what you're saying. I think that's just how they've done the photos. They've probably just used stock photos instead of that. It's kind of like the Seiko website type photo. I know exactly what you're saying.
Right, and keep in mind the 100th anniversary was very limited edition. I think it was only 300 pieces. The MSRP on it back in 2014 was $5,000, and they're showing up. They're showing up on as Chrono 24 and also other online retailers for less than $5,000, which I don't think really bodes well for a very limited edition watch.
You're saying it's not very popular, or what are you saying?
Well, apparently, and apparently it's not, but it could almost be the same problem with the with Breitling, or for that case, Omega. It just seems like they keep churning out very slight variations of the same thing over and over every year, and sometimes, or like you're in manure. Yes. Sometimes the jewels get lost in the dross. Sometimes the wheat gets thrown out with the chaff.
Yes, I got to tell you, it is a very
and again with the Seiko naming conventions. Oh my God!
Yes,
Jesus! I mean, could you make it any more harder to track a watch?
I mean, what I don't understand is, can I tell you this, Clive? This watch really, doesn't it deserve Grand Seiko status or not? It's got a hand-painted dial. Mm-hmm. I mean, let's be honest there. Seiko has a lot of lower-end pieces, right? Okay, that's fair enough. But this piece is a work of art. Wouldn't you slap on the Grand Seiko name? I mean, it's damn well hand-painted. It's got a vertical clutch, column wheel chronograph with a vertical clutch. I mean, wouldn't you put this in the upmarkets? It's like if this was a Toyota, this would belong in the Lexus lot, wouldn't it?
Right. Or
you understand what I'm saying?
It's an Avalon, basically. It's an Avalon.
It's an Avalon Grand. It's an Avalon Grand. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Come on, Clive.
The Swiss, I mean, it seems like the Swiss, if they hold a meeting on something, make important decisions, they probably have more marketers than engineers. And it seems like in Japan, the engineers throw the marketers out of the room.
Yes.
It's the imbalance. It's the imbalance in the other way.
Yes.
And I think the not having clearly delineated product lines hurts them. In a lot of ways, their own worst enemy. You know, if I would like to see one. Now, would you trade that? You know, considering it was, you know, it was painted by Itchy Scratchy in the Kobayashi Maru style of lacquer or whatever, something. Now, would you trade that for your Omega Speedmaster?
Well, this is a very interesting thing. I mean, Clive, I got to be honest with you. I got to be completely honest with you. Seiko themselves, they have a huge following in Japan themselves. They actually have like godlike status, cult status, okay? So maybe in their own market, this is doing it right. But I've got to be honest with you. No, I wouldn't, because the Omega is just so, it's so iconic. You know what I mean? I mean, they haven't attempted to make this. How would you separate this? I mean, it's all about snobbery. I know. See, the Omega Speedmaster I've got, you can't compare it to the Reduced. The Reduced is just an ETA movement, okay? That's right. I think realistically, you've got to compare this. William has said compare it to the Reduced. Well, the Reduced is nothing special, but let's reduce it. Let's compare it to the manual Speedmaster Man on the Moon. Compare it to the manual wind one, okay? That's the one that
You mean the Man on the Google Ads Moon?
Man on the Google Ads Moon. And I got to tell you, honestly, I think the Seiko, whew, it's done so well. The only problem is there's nothing to tell anyone that what the hell it is. Unless you're a Seiko nerd, you would have no idea. Unless you're a Seiko nerd, you'd have no idea how great this thing is.
Well, yeah, I mean, exactly. And it's the same thing that's wrong with your manure. I mean, the one you have, you could point to it, and unless you're just an IWC fanatic, you would have no idea that yours is really special or unique compared to all the models that came before or afterwards with lesser models.
Yeah. Well, probably the ones afterwards are lesser. The ones before they have got some legendary pieces before, but afterwards they went to a bloody ETA movement. They cheapened the dial and they added crown guards. I mean, they did everything wrong. But with this Seiko, I got to tell you honestly, this is pretty amazing. A column wheel automatic chronograph that went to space. Man, this is very interesting shit. The problem is, I'm a brand snob. I'm a brand snob. That's what I do. I love the big brand. Look at you. You're wearing a Rolex. Rolex. Okay, we're brand snobs. This is the problem. I think the other thing is too, Clive, as I was talking about yesterday, you know, boutique watches, you buy one of these Seikos, are you going to really get out of it? I mean, they've been a very poor investment as far as if you put $5,000 into a Rolex secondhand, you would probably have made money. Don't you agree, Clive?
Yeah, if you bought well, if you followed some simple instructions, absolutely.
I mean, if you bought a two-tone Submariner, what the hell is that piece of crap on your... If you bought a two-tone Submariner for $5,000 US, right, you'd have a lot more money now, wouldn't you?
Well, absolutely.
But I mean, the itchy and scratchy Seiko, what's happened to it? It's plummeted. It's plummeted because no one damn well understands their naming convention besides Seiko nerds. And I've got to be honest with you, Seiko nerds aren't the best people to sell to. If that's your market, Seiko nerds, they're just, you know, that's just... But I got to tell you, Seiko itself there, what do you think of that watch? Reading the specs on it, it should be in the grand collection. Don't you? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes. And well, and that's one of the things though that even Tudor understands, because if they have a really good watch and a really good movement, they squeeze it into the Black Bay because the Black Bay is the more popular model, even among, you know, compared to the rest of them. It's almost like Seiko doesn't care. It's like Seiko killed all the market guys or something, or locked them in the closet and not let them out.
Yes.
Now they're eating rats and rice that sympathetic engineers throw under the door.
Can I show you something that I really think is beautiful? Can I
Okay.
show you something that I think is really quite sexy? Have a look at this. This is another.
It's not a man in a dress, right?
No. This is pure wristwatch.
Okay.
Pure wristwatch. Look at this. This is the same. This is a Seiko Ananta. Anta. Look at this with the pushers and the steel bezel. Isn't that sexy?
Yeah,
it reminds
it's
me
all
of
right.
it reminds me of the Tudor. The new Tudor with the column wheel chronograph. Look at this. It's just beautiful. And
Right.
this is actually, they don't tell you which movement. But I'm just saying, Clive, I got to tell you the truth. There, Seiko themselves, they have done themselves a huge disservice by not really, you know, big noting themselves about it. I mean, these stock codes are absolutely impossible to work out. Like I'm just searching here on Chrono 24. This is a special watch, hand painted dial by Itchy and Scratchy, and I can't see. It doesn't. All I can search is for 100th anniversary. Okay, here's another 100th anniversary one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is a German seller. I get a bit worried. I don't want to, you know, nothing against the Turks, but Gallipoli. Remember that, guys. Now I got to tell you, this piece here. This is in Germany.
You mean Gallipoli, the campaign in the First World War from over 100 years ago?
That's the one. That's the one.
How old do you think the audience is?
I don't know. But anyhow, look at this one here in Germany. $2,755 US. Look at that. That's actually a much better photo. Look at this, Clive. What do you think of that photo? Actually, you can't even see it on the screen. Look at this.
Yeah.
There we go. You can see it on the screen now. There we go. Look at this one here. $2,755. Have a look at this. Look at this watch here. This is just the case. The way that the bracelet is. I don't even think the bracelet's terminal. It's quite a nicely presented piece. Push. Look at the movement there. Okay, the movement's probably not as decorated as I would have liked, but this is Seiko's way of doing things. This is an amazing piece. Would I swap it for my Inji, Clive? There you go. That's a question. Would you swap it for the Inji?
Let me put it this way: if someone swapped that, if someone said, "Hey, I've got this Seiko, this chronograph diver, 100th anniversary, and $2,000 cash. I want the Inji."
No. Because it's a Seiko. I'm a brand snob at the end of the day. Do you understand? I'm a brand snob. And I know I'm going to have a hard trouble getting rid of it down the track. Because no one's going to kowtow to me. No one's going to say, wow, you got the 100th anniversary. Is that the one with the itchy and scratchy dial? They're not going to say that to me. Is that the one with the hand-painted dial?
You forgot the Kobayashi Maru liquor. Liquor, yes. The Kobayashi Maru liquor.
I mean, this is the problem. I think Seiko's biggest problem is no one can understand their numbering system. I mean,
they don't clearly delineate their lines.
It's hard to work out. I mean, it's like
buying a dish. It's like buying a dishwasher at Best Buy.
But this here is the Cadillac of dishwashers. Do you understand? It's a column wheel chronograph. I mean, even my Breguet, which is pretentious or hell, it doesn't use a column wheel chronograph.
Yeah, but you know, Breguet Type XX, you can kind of understand what that is. It's not ABC XX 1257 Juliet 26.
See, I honestly think.
But it's almost like you better be prepared to drink the Kool-Aid and keep drinking the Kool-Aid. Unless you want to be the guy that goes around to Rolex owners and says, my Seiko is, you know, my Seiko is a better watch for better construction.
Now, if you didn't know this, right, the Ananta range. This is a Seiko Ananta. This was the first globally sold high-end Seiko watch.
Right.
This was before Seiko decided to sell its prized Grand Seiko collection on a global scale. That only happened in 2011.
Right.
It's the Anita. It's hard to explain. It's midway between Seiko's nicer watches and the really nice Grand Seiko. So it's not even Grand Seiko.
And as we know, the Japanese didn't do too well at Midway, did they? No, they did not.
No half efforts here. So I got to tell you honestly.
Oh, and by the way, you're welcome.
Yeah. Do you think it's an amazing watch? I think it is amazing. What do you think?
Yeah, it
but
is.
When you consider it,
and here's the thing: how strong a value is flippability, though. You know, I think if you know yourself, if it's something that would appeal to you, if it's something that you're not going to have to flip a watch, if you're a holder rather than a flipper, possibly.
See, the thing is, this watch here, being a Seiko, I mean, I don't want to put it down. I don't want to put this watch down because I think really that this Seiko it's an amazing thing. You understand? This is it's a super duper watch. Right?
But on the other hand, they could take a lesson or two from the car industry, because Lexus is not known as the Grand Toyota. You know, after a few years, Americans started realizing that, oh, Lexus is an upscale brand. It's not simply a tricked out Toyota.
I'm going to try something with you here, okay? This is unrehearsed, okay? Because like most of my things, they're unrehearsed, okay?
Unprepared, unplanned.
Unplanned. So let's have a look at this. I'm just going to have. I'm just going into the Seiko website, right?
Right.
So I've gone in. This is the SeikoWatches.com website. Okay. Now I just want to show you this. This is how frustrating it is. Okay. Okay. So we've gone into the Seiko website, and what do we got? We got Astron, Prospex, Presage, and Premier. Where the bloody hell is Antenna? Where the hell is Ananta? You understand they got these stupid names. Okay, I can see Presage. What's Premier? Premier, I don't understand this. Do you want, Clive, this is damn frustrating. You understand? Like they give these things stupid generic names, and then you can't even find this stuff. You understand?
Right.
Sorry, I didn't even have that on there. Sorry, I'm just going to show this again. Clive, this is very poorly done. Look at this. This is so I'm on the Seiko page here, and
for Presage.
This is I'm just bringing it up now. Here we go. So I'm just checking. Look at this. I'm on the Seiko. This is the Seiko website of the world, right? This is their. And I got to tell you, in all honesty, I look at the collections. There's no mention of this Antenna. Look at this. We've got Astron, Prospex, Presage, and Premier. What the hell?
Do you really need another? Do you really need another antenna?
Ananta. It's Ananta. It's not even a good. I don't understand why that. Look, you got Presage, built for a challenge. They got these different lines. Astron, that's a solar. Premier, shaped by success. Prospex, and we got Presage. I mean, Clyde, they don't even. You understand? They're not. There's no continuity. Do you understand that continuity? Okay. I mean, and they got no reference to Grand Seiko. Wouldn't you reference Grand Seiko or not? Or you don't do that?
No, you wouldn't. That's what. And again, to use the car analogy,
they got their own Grand Seiko website. They got their own Grand Seiko website, right?
Right.
That's wouldn't you at least mention
Lexus. That's why Lexus isn't in a corner of a Toyota showroom. It's a separate dealership.
Let's see. Okay, fair enough. You go in there and they kiss your ass like a BMW showroom. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Have you ever been into a BMW showroom?
Yes.
What did you think?
Yeah. Hey, go back.
Go back.
Yeah, go back a page or two. Go back another one. Where it showed the guy holding the watch.
I think that was just a random, Clive.
Okay.
I can't get that up. Yeah, was it a good pick? Look, you understand what I'm saying? It's so frustrating because there's no continuity. That's the problem. They have this premier brand, right? Then they drop it. It's gone. Unless you're a Seiko nerd. There we go. That's the guy holding the thing. Unless you're a Seiko nerd, how would you even know this shit? You understand?
Yeah, well, I saw the pretentious-looking guy holding something on a white watch, and I was wanting to see if he had a pencil-thin mustache.
I think that's Itchy and Scratchy. Itchy and Scratchy. No, he's got no. These are Japanese guys. These are two Japanese guys. Craftsmen, they're called. Look, I got to tell you, see, Seiko's got so many damn. Look at this. They've got so many damn limited editions and things happening. It's just so confusing. It's too confusing. Okay. They got no reference to. Okay, this is the. It just, oh, here we go. We've got a little thing, a Grand Seiko. It's just come up. We've got a special Grand Seiko site. Can we see any Anitas on that site? I mean, this is just frustrating. No end of frustration, okay? This is just...
And you've got the 20 collections, and you've got the 2017 models, and you've got every Seiko, all collections.
Look, here we go. We've got the Grand Seiko. Recreation of the first graph. See, I quite like some of these things here. These are very nice looking pieces, but this is the problem. Seiko, see, the whole thing about the Moon watch is, it's the Moon watch. Oh, you got the Moon watch. No one says that about the Seiko, do you? You don't have that kudos. You're not instantly cool. It's like you can wear.
You've got the GSB 37256. Wow.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying, Clive? It's just frustrating. No one. It's. You got to hand it to the Swiss. That's the Moon watch. It's the Moon watch. Oh, that's the one that went to the moon. You got a story. By the time you've explained it with the Seiko, the bird's chucked off. She wasn't really that interested in it anyhow.
Right. She's going to say, oh, he's got a Seiko. Big deal. Like my grandpa.
Like your grandpa. Exactly right, Clive. I'm sorry, but this is the whole problem. Watches are snobbery. You understand this?
My grandpa got his off the wrist of a Jap soldier.
Yeah. Clive, what do you think really with Seiko? I mean, tell me what you think of this watch. It's an amazing... Let's wrap it up. What do you think of it?
I mean, in a lot of ways, it sounds like it's technically and functionally superior to Swiss brands. But their naming and their branding systems let everything down, really. They're their biggest enemy, I guess. They need to invite a couple of marketers in and make the engineers listen to them, rather than the Swiss. It's the opposite. You've got one engineer for like 3 marketers. You know, they've got the Seiko has a meeting with 4 engineers and no marketers.
Yes. I mean, you understand the frustration, don't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just, and if you get it, you might be delighted with it, but it's, and again, it's like a marriage. It's like a marriage watch. If you get one of those, you're married to it, and to get out of the marriage, man, it's going to cost you.
Yeah. So, Clive, I got to tell you, in all honesty, I love it. It's a great watch. Sounds like an amazing watch. I'd love to see one. It's got me really interested on it. But I got to tell you, in all honesty, Seiko has got themselves no one to blame but themselves. They've got to make their watches more understandable. You mean you've got the SRQ, not the SRV? Wow! You know what? It's just very. I mean,
if they were to say, I mean, if they could use their own culture, and just say, have different delineations of each brand, Snowflake or Katana.
Well, even Snowflake, that's only a nickname for it. It's never put anywhere official.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Not official. Yeah, not official. And generally, and they don't even unofficially refer to the nickname. That this is not the Katana, this or this is the Samurai. Yeah, well, I don't want. That sounds almost offensive, stereotyping, but
Yeah, no. I understand, Clive. So anyhow, Clive, let's wrap this baby up. Thank you so much for coming to our first Seiko Saturday. and Seiko Saturdays. I'm going to be doing more Seiko reviews. Please send me more Seiko reviews. I love my Seikos, and I love how Seiko videos rate. That's the most important thing. They rate really well, and they do have some amazing stuff. It's just I got to be honest with you, they don't market it right. So let's wrap this up. Remember, like, subscribe, and tell your friends about Archie's new Seiko Saturday. Thank you so much, guys. Nice one.